Hello, my name is Swinis, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can add editor customizations, specifically how you can add custom rows and such to detail panels. The detail panels themselves are everywhere in the engine, from the settings to the details that show when you click on an actor, or even the details that show when you click on a material node in the material editor. Extending these with custom functionality can be done quite easily. I'll only be covering a small bit here, but we'll dig deeper with future tutorials. As always, a link to the GitHub repo can be found in the description. To get started, it's important to note that the customizations are editor only, so you'll likely want them to be in an editor only project with the .u plugin set to have the type as editor. And then for dependencies, we're going to need these. Okay, so I'm just going to add some customization to the custom settings from the previous video. Just a button that increments the value, kind of like the test actor that I added in the repo, or at least it should be there. First, I'm going to cover the customization class, and then afterwards I'm going to show you how you can let Unreal Engine know that you are making this customization. So in our customization class, we inherit from IDetailCustomization. In this, we have a static function to create an instance of the class, a virtual function where we do the customization, and then a function to handle the button click event, as well as some property values that will just be used to refresh the underlying widgets. And then in the implementation file, the make instance function is pretty basic. We populate the two pointer variables from the class header, and then we hide the main property. This effectively removes it from view. After that, we go to edit the category, which is the same category value used in the property of your settings class, or whatever you're using. And if you wanted multiple properties to be in a certain order, you would get their pointers, hide them, and then add them in the order you want. Also, looking at the underlying Unreal code, it looks like when you hide a property, it sets that property to be custom. And when you add a property or row, etc., they also have the custom flag. And this flag means they get added to the list first. So any properties that already exist will be at the bottom, I believe. I could be wrong. If anyone knows better, please let me know in the comments. So add back in the property that we hid, and then we go to add our custom row, which can be split into two parts, the name and the value content. These represent the label on the left and the field, or in this case, button on the right. You can also just use square brackets directly or the function whole row content to have someone that spans the entire width of the row. This might be useful if it was, say, a preview window or something that should span the entire width. Again, the content is all slate, which I'm not going to be diving into in this video. And now we have the function that gets called when we click the button. It starts with some basic checks. Then we both perform the necessary functions on the property object along with changing the actual value, which, like in the previous tutorial, also saves the change in the ini file. After that, we refresh and give a valid return value. With the actual customizations out of the way, we need to tell the engine that we want to use this customization. So go into the module file in the startup module function. We need to get the property editor module and then register our customization class. And this first part tells the engine which class we're actually setting the customization for. And then the second part is basically how to get an instance of the class. And we just let the property editor module know that things have changed. And then do pretty much the opposite for shutting down the module. And that's how you can get started with your editor customizations. There are different things you need to do for, say, a toolbar, etc., which I do plan on covering in future tutorials. So with that, as always, if you found this tutorial helpful, please leave a like and let me know with a comment. Thank you for watching.